molar mass of a compound. If we are talking about the molar mass of a compound, it is still the same method employed in calculating relative molecular mass. But the only difference is that molar mass has unit, but relative molecular mass has no unit. The unit for molar mass is gram per mole, or it can be written like this, gram per mole. Gram per mole. That is the unit for molar mass. The same procedure of which we learned on how to calculate relative molecular mass, it is still the same thing. But the result will now determine whether it is molar mass or relative molecular mass. Let's check one or two examples. Let's solve these two examples. Sodium hydrogen triisocarbonate 4. Calculate the relative molecular mass. Sorry, calculate the molar mass of this compound. And of which we know that calcium is still 40, sodium is 23, hydrogen is 1, carbon is 12, and the oxygen is still 16. So the first one, sodium is 23, plus hydrogen is 1, plus carbon is 12, plus oxygen is 16, but we have 3 oxygen. That was why I'm multiplying. All of them, we are dealing with addition. But if an element or an atom appears more than once, you multiply by the number of times it appeared. Like this one now appeared 3 times. That was why I'm multiplying by 3. So 23 plus 13 plus 48. So let's calculate it plus 36. It will give us it will give us 84 gram per mole, or 84 gram. I'm writing it two ways so that if you cannot write it this way, you can write it this way. They mean the same thing. Have you seen the difference now? This one has unit, but relative molecular mass has no unit. The second example is calcium hydroxide. Calcium is 40, and I'm bringing these two outside the bracket. These two is affecting everything inside the bracket. Oxygen is 16, hydrogen is 1. Remember, these two is affecting everything inside the bracket. A number outside the bracket affects every other thing inside the bracket. So this now becomes 40 plus 12, 17. So this is 40 plus 12 times 17. 12 times 17. There is no 12 there. There is no 12 there. This is 2 bracket 16 plus 1. That is what 17. 2 times 17 is 34. 34 plus 40 is 74 gram per mole. That is the molar mass of this compound. That is the molar mass of this compound. As I was going through past questions, I saw one related question, but that one should have come in relative molecular mass. But let's solve it here. An oxide, X oxide, has a vapor density of 32. What is the atomic mass of X? Before we proceed, you should recall relationship between relative molecular mass and the vapor density. Relative molecular mass equals 2 times vapor density. So this is the formula relating relative molecular mass and now vapor density. It then means that, but they didn't give relative molecular mass, instead they gave vapor density. So the simplest way to solve this thing now is to equate it to the relative molecular mass. But since they didn't give relative molecular mass, what we are going to do now is 2 times vapor density, which it is what they gave. But had it been they gave relative molecular mass, we will equate this to relative molecular mass. But don't forget that this 2 times vapor density is representing relative molecular mass from this relationship, from this formula I have given you. So now this now becomes X oxide now becomes 32 multiplied by what? 2. So this is X oxide equals 64. Remember that they asked us to find the atomic mass of X. X plus oxygen is 16. 16 times 2. Why am I multiplying it by 2? Because we have two molecules of oxygen equals 64. Now, X plus 32, I believe 16 times 2 is 32, gives you 64. How do you get X? Collect like terms. That means now X equals 64 minus 32. Let's check all these things we are solving. So from here now, X equals 64 minus 32. So X equals what? 32. Relative atomic mass, or the atomic mass of X, is 32. And from the element that has atomic mass, that means that X is what? Sulfur. That means that X is a sulfur. Because it is sulfur that has relative atomic mass of 32, which means that oxide is simply sulfur 4 oxide. Remember, this is the oxide, and we have got to X here to be 32, and the element or the atom that has relative atomic mass of 32 is sulfur, which means this is simply SO2, sulfur 4 oxide.